Hi. This is the second of the sleep series, and it's so important. Anyone who's ever struggled with sleep, look at that. Light is bad for sleep. Have very warm lighting in your bedroom and not a lot of it. Let's start with that. But anyone who's struggled with sleep knows that there's a pattern to this, right? There are people who can't fall asleep, and there's people who wake up and then you can't fall back asleep. So the theme of today is what are sleep aids to actually help you stay asleep? And I actually do think light is the first one to think about. So sometimes draperies that are blackout, those kind of things that just even blinds, they're very inexpensive blackout blinds that can make a huge difference for people. Cars driving down your street, any kind of light that comes in can really interrupt your pattern. So even though your eyes are closed, light does come through there and signal your brain to wake up. So that is like a very easy start. And if you have children or you're planning to have children, it's really important to make their rooms pitch black at night. It really helps them, and they can have a little night light until they don't need it, but it really helps them sleep longer if you go in and turn off the night light once they're asleep. Anyway, another thing that's really, really important about staying asleep is thinking about, are you comfortable in your bed? And so is the room too warm is the biggest question. We're supposed to be sleeping in really cool zones. So sometimes dropping the temp at night can make all the difference in the world. This sounds ridiculous, but it's really, really important. Another thing is making sure your blood sugar doesn't drop. Have you eaten something before bed that has a little bit of fat, a little bit of protein, maybe some nuts, something like that before bed? Something that will sustain some energy, and that's not a really good strategy for everyone, but for some people it's worth just trying it a few days and seeing, does this really make a difference? And another thing that helps you stay asleep is actually a noise machine. So I know that they're very inexpensive. I know that people think, oh, I'll just turn it on my cell phone and keep that on, or on my TV. Those are bad ideas. It's really just those inexpensive sound machines. They're, you can buy them on Amazon for $10 or $15. They're these small little things, and a lot of times people are buying them for their children's rooms. So they'll have lullabies and silly kind of music, but they'll also have nature sounds, water trickling, ocean sounds, birds chirping. Those things are all kind of on these little machines. It can make a world of difference for people. Just some white noise in the room can make a world of difference for people. And that's one really good strategy to get you off of the TV. So if you fall asleep with the TV on, it's that noise kind of thing that's soothing to people to have something like that to listen to. And light sleepers, which many of you are light sleepers, they just are trained to kind of hear the dog get up and go to the door, or hear their children wake up, or they're just kind of like one ear open kind of thing, ready for if they need to get up fast. And the noise machine can just totally blunt that signal. So that's a really good thing to get and to try. And like I said, it's just something to try a few days. And I think it really does work. Staying asleep is often just honestly about us processing our emotions in a way that is really healthy. So in the wee hours of the morning, 1, 2, 3 a.m. is when we process our emotions. When we first go to bed, our body prioritizes repair. All the kind of muscle damage we did, little micro tears, all our joint inflammation, our GI tracts, all of that is being repaired when we first go to sleep for that first few hours of sleep. And then we get into, the mind and the brain, and sort of processing all the images we saw that day, all the ways we felt, the things people said to us. We do really process those things, lay down memories, etc., in those times of night. So if we have something we're worried about, where we have some kind of negative interaction going on in our world, or we're worried about our to-do list, or whatever it is, you have this feeling of impending doom for some reason, which a lot of people are walking around with. If you have a heavy weight, or you feel like you're climbing a mountain, that will come up and at those times and wake you up. So that's where the going back to your daytime and what are you doing in your day to just calm your mind is such a good practice. So I was working with a patient the other day, and we really found out that her job does not allow for a lot of breaks. It's sort of like eat lunch at her desk and that kind of thing. And this woman loves her job. It's a great thing for her. It really feeds her soul. It's great. But it was sort of the question of, okay, what could you do? How could you get into your schedule? And in talking to her, there was a ability to walk out this building and just walk a few blocks and grab a tea out, go get a cup of tea someplace. And that was going to take about 10 minutes in her day. So that was the commitment of, okay, I can commit to, taking that break for myself of going to get my cup of tea in my early afternoon. It takes about 10 minutes. I'm going to put that in the schedule and make sure that happens every day. And so the idea is you're not talking on the phone when you do that. You're just taking I'm going to go outside, enjoy some fresh air, and take a little walk and get a cup of tea. So something for 10 minutes during your day where you're really just calming your mind can really help you stay asleep at night. It doesn't seem all that logical, but it really does work. So it could be, you walk out the building, you walk out your house where you're working, if you're working at home, and you just walk in a circle. You walk around the building, you come back in. It can be that easy. If you work with other people and you just need to get away from them, it could be go hide out in your car for 10 minutes. Don't go on your phone, don't start scrolling. You just sit there for 10 minutes and just kind of try and relax for a little bit, take a few deep breaths. And when you go back to work, you might actually notice that you feel really better and that you're more productive. So staying asleep has a lot of different factors going on, and it's hard to figure it out for people, but trying any one of those strategies for a few nights is key. So not like one night I'm going to have a snack before bed and see if that works. That's not really the strategy that gets you anywhere. It's more of, I'm going to try this for 3 days, 5 days, and just commit to it. Write it in your calendar. These days I'm going to try this. If that doesn't seem to work, I'm going to move on to the next thing. I hope something in there helps you. Good luck.